got another one, y'all. A build that also fell victim to the demonetization madness. It was a crime to have this one hidden away for so long. Fatal Touch. Yep, I said it. Not to toot my own horn or anything, but this is the ultimate support build from one end of the spectrum to the other. The perfect mechanism for dismantling White Tusk and legendary content whilst in PvP, causing you so much confusion and frustration that sometimes it's too overwhelming. Your Hasbro will not save you here. Look at everything that's happening to this guy all at once. I'll call this Fatal Touch because it's the complete opposite of what you use with this gear set. My personal style of Hunter's Fury that deals damage from areas you'd never expect. And guess what? I'll show you exactly how to put this together. And we're starting right now. Okay, this build right here is next level. I know everybody is running 4-piece Hunter's Fury for DPS builds, and rightly so. It's perfect for DPS builds, but because it's so perfect for DPS builds, I wanted to go another way so that I can complement the bonuses, if you get what I'm saying, right? Because after analyzing the gear set, I realized how much potential it has with everything else it offers. Hunter's Fury 2-piece already gives you extra weapon damage. So this allows you to pivot into other areas that can benefit you and your team as a support player, the ultimate support player. Just a plethora of debuffs and status effects that occur to your enemies all at once. Plague of the Outcast, Toxic Delivery, the Vile Mass debuff, Disorient and Disrupt, all separate sources but can be activated by doing very little, killing one enemy, and this will put you into a loop of everlasting status effects and debuffs. It's literally nuts. You don't have to kill the enemy, but that is one of the best ways to start this chain going. And with that, I'm going to start with my primary. This weapon has grown on me. I really didn't like it before because of how toxic it used to be when people were using TP Pestilence. It was just very annoying and I despised this weapon. But after that crazy meta calmed down, it allowed me to open my eyes more to this weapon. And I've already made a build with it before, but this right here, I think fits perfectly with this weapon. I'm sure by now. Everybody knows what the Pestilence does. It hits apply debuff, dealing 100% damage over 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times. So you get a full stack on somebody, kills them, that stack is going to spread to anyone within 25 meters. Now 25 meters is a huge radius. The secondary I'm using is the Tactical Vector SBR with 𝐸. I have one with measured on it for the fire rate, but I think 𝐸 is perfect for this simply because I'm using my skills a lot and that's where 𝐸 shines the most. The pistol I have is just the card custom in case I want to have one extra skill tier. Nothing really special about that. But the reason why the Tactical Vector SBR is so good with this is that Hunter's Fury, when you get within 15 meters, it activates Apex Predator, where enemies receive a debuff, another debuff, amplifying your weapon damage by 20%. Now just remember that because I'm going to get to that after I talk about the Vile Mask. This mask is great. It has status effects already, which is what you want. And this build might seem a little complicated, okay? So I want you to listen because I'm going to break it down real easy for you so that you'd understand exactly what's going on here, okay? Toxic Delivery gives you a debuff that's activated when you apply a status effect on an enemy. This debuff's strength is based upon how much status effects you have. So as you can see, I have a 4-piece Hunter's Fury. Every piece of Hunter's Fury that I have on has status effects rolled to it. Now it'd be good to have one that drops that already has status effects rolled on it in case you want to be a little more tanky, because right now I'm at 1 million armor and I believe I do have one that's rolled to armor. Yeah, the knee pads. So every single one of these pieces here has status effects rolled to it. This is to increase the debuff that you get from the Vile Mask, Toxic Delivery. So let's get back to this, right? And you can do this with the Pestilence or the Vector. And I like doing it with the Pestilence because it also gives the Pestilence 20% amplified damage within 15 meters. So once you kill that debuffed enemy, other enemies within 5 meters of him get disoriented. Once they get disoriented, this amplifies your weapon damage even more. So you could potentially get another 25% weapon damage on top of the 20 you get from just being within 15 meters. And that's not all. Once you disorient those enemies, okay? And by the way, this chest piece has a unique talent on it called Endless Hunter, which increases the stack's duration from 10 seconds to 30 seconds, which is a very good chunk of time. So yeah, once you disorient the enemy that you kill, this will then activate the Vile Mask because a disorient is a status effect. That status effect then activates Toxic Delivery. There's a lot of stuff happening right here, so just stay with me, okay? And trust me, this thing is so annoying. In PvE, you can do upwards of billions of damage to legendary enemies. You're always going to be activating toxic delivery. You're always going to have that plague of the outcast going. It's going to just keep going, and you want to follow the plague of the outcast debuff from enemy to enemy, so you can keep those status effects and debuffs on whatever enemy the plague of the outcast goes to. So when you disorient the enemy, you look at this backpack, Golan Gear. It already has status effects for the first piece, which is adding on to the damage of toxic delivery. Okay, I wish I had one with status effects rolled, which I'm looking for right now, but you want Creeping Death on the backpack, because what Creeping Death does is any enemy within 8 meters of the target that you apply a status effect to spreads to them, which then spreads the toxic delivery. So this is damage after damage after damage over time. It's just going to keep applying to everybody. Now, in PvP, it's a little bit different, right? You don't want to use this backpack in PvP, because in PvE, you just want to spread all of this toxicity everywhere. You want to do that in PvP as well, but you want to use Wicked. So Anarchist Cookbook, perfectly Wicked in fact. Still Golan Gear, so you're not missing out on any status effects. The difference is that you'll be dealing more weapon damage to your enemies once the status is applied. So in PvP, this is the best way to go. So do you see how crazy this all works? And that's not all. Everything I just spoke to you about is regarding gunplay, using your weapons, spreading the debuffs and status effects based on that. Now, if we talk about the skills, that's something entirely different. I'm using the Jammer Pulse and the EMP Sticky Bomb. The EMP Sticky Bomb is great in PvP and in PvE, right? Especially against those robot dogs and against those med stations. Like, have you ever disrupted an enemy with the EMP Jammer Pulse and in like 2 or 3 seconds the dog gets right back up? Well, that's because the Jammer Pulse doesn't really last as long as the EMP Sticky Bomb. In my 5 Advanced Combat Tactics video I did a while ago, I made a special segment for this EMP Sticky Bomb where when you shoot it at the dogs without detonating it, it's going to put them in a down state for 17 seconds. As long as you don't detonate it. So this gives you and your squad plenty of time to take out that robot dog. In PvP, this is great for staggering enemies, taking their shields down. All around, this skill is what you want, especially for this. And aside from all of that, it applies a disrupt status effect on the affected target, which will then trigger toxic delivery once again. So this is just like a recycling of all of this damage over and over and over again. And the great thing about it is that you don't have to be in the front lines. You could just be in the back, because the Jammer Pulse and the EMP Sticky Bomb, they're skills that are made for robotics skills and disruption. They're not made to damage the enemy or damage the enemy's armor or health. With this build, you're going to be able to do all of that, damage enemies with a skill that's not even made to damage enemies. Once you hit them with the Jammer Pulse, you're going to disrupt them, destroy their skills, and apply damage to them all at the same time. And because I have skill haste mods all on my gear, the cooldowns are great. And back to what I was saying about the duration, with all of my status effects rolled all over my gear, this is 5.7 seconds EMP effect duration. Not that long at all, right? I know I didn't show you the pieces, so I'm going to show you right now. As I said, status effects rolled everywhere. If you want more armor, you find a Hunter's Fury piece that has status effects rolled already on it, then you could roll the core attribute, which I did right here. And that's pretty much it, man. When I found out about this build and looked at how Hunter's Fury works, it's the ultimate support build. It has everything that you need. It has the damage, because if you look at this, this is really pretty much a DPS hybrid. I have 3 weapon cores, 2 armor cores, and essentially 2 skill tier. Try this build out. You'll love it. It's really fun. It changes up the playstyle. It allows you to play something other than the normal DPS crit build that everybody's running, and it helps your team out most of all. This is certified for legendary, by the way. You can use this in the highest levels of content. And that's it, man. That's pretty much it. So if you enjoyed this build, if it helped you out in any way, I'd appreciate if you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Until I see you on my next video, be right out.